support that you guys been offering on the channel. Yeah, man. So today basically we're gonna dive into 3 possible matchups. Well, 2 more if you include the one that we're about to showcase here. We have Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Now, obviously, you guys, UFC 286, Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards got the win. I think it was by split decision or something like that, unanimous decision. Let me go back and look at it. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just been crazy, man. A lot of crazy stuff been happening. So yeah, he got the majority decision. So that's pretty good there. But yeah, UFC 286, Leon Edwards got the majority decision, and Colby made weight as a backup. Now, it's crazy because, you know, Colby was called last minute to be a replacement for this fight. MMA Guru, I mean, he brought up a really good idea. Not going to steal his, content or anything, or his idea. But he actually made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, Covington got a deal from Dana White to, drop all the charges against Jorge Masvidal for a title shot, blah, 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 whatever. Because there's no way in hell that Colby Covington should be getting a title shot. And I'm going to tell you why. I like Colby. I think Colby is a really good fighter. However, there are more fighters that have been active in that welterweight division. Okay? Now, yes, Colby is sitting at number 3 as I'm looking right now in the welterweight division. You know, obviously Leon Edwards being the champion and Kamaru Usman being that number 2 contender. Now, you have guys that have been active in there, like a Gilbert Burns, like a Bilal Muhammad, who is going to be one of the matchups we talk about here today. You have guys like Shavkat Rakhmonov. I mean, hell, if Khamzat Chimaev could make the weight, he would be a really good contender for that spot. But I believe Khamzat's going to be moving up to 185 because he can't make 170, right? I mean, Sean Brady would have been good, but I mean, he's sitting at number 10, and that's crazy. So, I'm going to give you guys 3 potential matchups we can see in the welterweight division for the title. Starting with the one we have here that we're about to showcase. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Now, obviously, Leon Edwards said that he doesn't really deserve a title shot. Colby Covington doesn't really deserve a title shot. And I agree with that. You sit out for a year and a half, not say nothing, radio silence, and then all of a sudden, oh, you can go to London to make weight and, fight for a title when you haven't even been active in the last year and a half. You see what I'm saying? It just does not make sense. You know what I'm saying? From the perspective of his inactivity, right? There are going to be some Colby fans out there that are like, oh, he deserves a title shot, How do you deserve a title shot if Usman beats you, 3 times, I think? 2 or 3 times? It just doesn't make sense to me. We got a person watching the video. What's up? Appreciate everybody stopping by. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're the consummate professional. Yeah, you made weight, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like Colby is just looking to get the least resistance to a title shot as possible. I mean, that's just the way I feel. And, MMA Guru could be right about him, potentially having those charges drop against Jorge Masvidal to secure that title shot, right? It only makes sense because there's no way he passes guys like Bilal Muhammad. There's no way he passes, Shavkat Rakhmonov. There's no way he passes Gilbert Burns. There's no way he passes any of those elite welterweight contenders that have been vying for that spot for a very long time. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I could make the argument for Khamzat Chimaev not, being there as far as, in contention goes. because the man missed weight by 9 pounds, 8 or 9 pounds, right? So, that was going to be one of the title fights we, talked about. But yeah, so I believe that, pretty sure this is the fight that's going to happen. Dana White did say that Colby was going to be next, but, obviously Leon Edwards disagrees. I don't really know how much the champion has as far as, a title shot goes. I don't know how much control Leon Edwards has in negotiating who fights for the title next and who doesn't. But I will say this: Leon Edwards is the best welterweight in the world. It's not in debate. It's not in discussion anymore. I feel like we need to, understand that Leon Edwards is that contender, and he is that #1 guy. And just right there, he got had to get Colby out of there, bruh. Put my man's lights out, bruh. Hey, shout out to Leon Rocky Edwards, man. That dude's making some way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, in regards to Colby getting that title shot, I don't agree with it either. I don't much blame Leon Edwards. I don't feel like Colby Covington has done enough, to secure that title shot. Get him in there against a guy like Bilal Muhammad. Get him in there against a guy like Shavkat Rakhmonov, who's on, he's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Get him in there against Gilbert Burns, Get him in there with anybody within the top 5 or top 7 spots or whatever else it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be one fight we showcase here. Okay? I put it on normal difficulty to speed the fights up a little bit. Pretty much anyone who has a really good sense of grappling pretty much is going to win their fights. So here is the next title fight that we're going to be showcasing. And here's the one that I'm probably advocating for the most. Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. Is this not the fight to make? We've seen Bilal Muhammad get in there and beat some of the best welterweights in that division. You know what I'm saying? He beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's beat Vicente Luque. He beat Sean Brady. You know what I'm saying? And he's been active. He's been passed, kind of like he's the Beneil Dariush of the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that might be an unfair comparison, but it's fair in the sense that both of these guys have been passed up over and over and over again from people who didn't really even deserve title shots, right? I could go back to the lightweight division with Beneil Dariush, right? Yeah, he'll be fighting Charles Oliveira. I think it's... Let me see when that fight is. He'll be fighting... I believe he'll be fighting Charles Oliveira, I think, what's that? Sometime in June, I think. I think sometime in June is when they're going to be fighting. But I just don't feel like Poirier deserved the title shot. I don't really feel like Justin Gaethje deserved the title shot. I don't feel like Michael Chandler deserved the title shot. They skipped over Beneil Dariush over and over and over and over again, and it's just like, it's pathetic. And then you go to the welterweight division where a guy like Bilal Muhammad, he's been active, he's been on a winning streak as of late, but the UFC gave 3 title shots to Colby Covington, I think, 2 or 3 shots. And then they give a title shot to Jorge Masvidal. Then they gave one, I think, to Gilbert Burns, I think. Or that might have been like a regular welterweight bout there. But it's just like, it does not make sense. It does not make sense. You know what I'm saying? And it goes to show you that sometimes the UFC prioritizes like those pay-per-view, you know, type matchups where there's a rivalry, there's a story to create, rather than going after the guys who actually deserve it. I mean, it's the business, yeah, I get it, but come on, man. Bilal Muhammad should not be dismissed anymore. I feel like if Edwards has a say, I feel like Bilal Muhammad is going to be the one that he chooses to get that welterweight title shot. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Bilal Muhammad has been active. He hasn't pulled out, you know, due to injury or nothing, or, you know, hold on, you guys, I'm sorry. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, Bilal Muhammad, he's been dismissed, you know, maybe because he's not that, you know, draw that a Colby Covington is. He's not that draw that you know, Jorge Masvidal is as far as their personalities go. He's not that draw that Justin Gaethje or, you know, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier. You know, he's not like socially out there as far as like people knowing who he is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people know who Bilal Muhammad is. Trust me, they know who he is. But he's not really as big of a draw maybe as some of those guys I probably mentioned, you know. And he landed the right hand there. But I just feel like this is the fight to make. I don't see any other person in that, you know, welterweight division that should get a title shot next. I mean, literally, when I take a look at these rankings, you know, obviously Kamaru Usman, you know, that was his last chance at a title shot. You know, he's 35 years old. You know, he's hit his peak. He's not going to get any better. He's proven all he can prove. You know, he either has, you know, 3 options at this point, I feel like. Either he, you know, moves down or he moves up to middleweight, goes to 185. But he can't do that because his buddies in that division, in Israel Adesanya, Nigerian brothers, you know what I'm saying? He can either go down in weight to 155 or, 155, which he's not going to do that because obviously he's not going to be able to cut that much weight and be effective at it. Or he can either retire because the way I see it, it's a young man's game. That's how it's always been. That's with any sport. Father Time beats everybody. Maybe not LeBron James, but it will get to him one day. But, you know, it's a young man's game. You know, obviously, Kamaru Usman, 35 years old. He's proven all he can prove. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the, you know, he's proven everything. I think a lot of people watching wonder how you can control an opponent like that. You know, he's proven that, you know, he's one of the greatest welterweights of all time. You know, he's defended his title on several occasions, maybe against guys who didn't deserve it, but he, you know, beat a lot of people. But I just feel like at this point in his career, he has to make a decision. Will he, you know, put his longevity at stake as far as, like, you know, being a father goes and, you know, being a family man goes, or will he try and go for another title shot, risking his health in the process? Because, like I said, they're going to kick him back down in those rankings, right? They're going to kick him back down in those rankings. Then he's going to have to run into guys like Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's going to have to run into guys like, you know, maybe a Gilbert Burns, maybe a Vicente Luque, maybe even a Gilbert Neal, you know, or Jeff Neal, my fault. I don't know why I said Gilbert. I'm guessing, you know, I was thinking about Gilbert Burns, but he's going to have to run into guys like that. And I was seeing a proposed matchup between you know, Kamaru Usman and Shavkat Rakhmonov, or Usman and, you know, Khamzat Chimaev if Chimaev can make the weight. I just don't see any of those two happening. Maybe they throw Usman in there against you know, Shavkat Rakhmonov, but dude, Shavkat Rakhmonov is an elite fucking grappler. You know, I'm not about to sit here and discredit Leon Edwards because he is the champion, but I mean, bro, Leon Edwards gave Kamaru Usman a hard time when it comes to grappling. What do you think Shavkat Rakhmonov is going to do? What do you think he's going to do? He's going to give Usman a hell of a fight. I don't see Usman lasting, you know, 3 rounds against, you know, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. Y'all can call me stupid, y'all can call me crazy all you want, but I just don't see it happening. But as far as I'm aware, you know, Usman has several decisions to make regarding his career. Like I said, he's at the twilight, he's at the apex, he's not going to get any better. And he's proven all he needs to prove. He's kind of like Steph Curry at this point in his career, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing else that Kamaru Usman can do to further solidify his legacy. You know? Like, there's nothing else he can do. Nothing. He's not going to fight, you know, he's not going to fight Israel Adesanya, you know, given that Israel Adesanya does go back and get the belt, which I mean, we can talk about that fight whenever the time comes, but I just don't see him moving up in weight. I don't see him titling or challenging for a title anytime soon again. I just feel like that's it for Kamaru Usman. I feel like he's done. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now. And you know, I just feel like this fight right here is the fight that makes sense. Maybe you make this happen in October in Abu Dhabi. You know, maybe you do that if you're Dana White, or you can do it. Maybe not July. Maybe not July. That's a little bit too fast of a turnaround for Leon Edwards. You know, he's going to look to, you know, go recover, go recuperate. You know, spend time with the family. You know, and just have more time with you know, with the belt and everything like that. But yeah, I just feel like this is the fight to make right here. And then I have another potential matchup that you know, we're gonna talk about. You know, that we're going to talk about here. This is going to be the last one. I don't feel like this one's going to happen either. But Leon Edwards versus Khamzat Chimaev. If Chimaev could reliably make 170 pounds on the dot every single time, Khamzat Chimaev, I feel like, would run through everybody in that division. I feel like he would, I mean, he had a hard time with Gilbert Burns. Shout out to Gilbert Burns because he gave him a hell of a fight. You know, Khamzat Chimaev, his gas tank was tested. His gas tank was tested, man. I just feel like a lot of the guys he faced beforehand didn't really pose a threat to his gas tank like Gilbert Burns did. You know, he got in there against Gerald Meerschaert, put him out. You know, he got in there against Lee, put him out. You know, he got in there, you know, against some of the better welterweights in there, and he just dealt with them. But I feel like when it comes to Leon Edwards, he's going to pace you out a little bit more. I don't feel like he's going to put the pressure on you. That's not the kind of fighter Leon Edwards is. He's more of a guy to, be calculated, whereas Khamzat Chimaev is looking to shoot at every opportunity he can get. And I just feel like, Khamzat Chimaev is more striking-oriented version of Kamaru Usman. He's gonna try and strike against you more. He's gonna try and strike against you more. He's gonna try and, put the pressure on you as far as his striking goes. And then that's when he's gonna shoot in for that takedown. Talking about Khamzat Chimaev, right? But I just feel like the only fight that makes sense is Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. I feel like Bilal Muhammad has proven that he can, be a solid welterweight contender. He's the only one that hasn't had a title shot. I mean, you gave one to, Colby Covington 2 times, 3 times. You gave one to Jorge Masvidal. He got his headlights knocked out. So, as far as I'm aware, this is the only fight that makes sense for Dana White to make, and we'll see what they do. But stylistically, I like this matchup between Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad, but we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for the video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all did, y'all drop a like, y'all subscribe, make sure your notifications are turned on so that way you don't miss a video when I upload. I was trying to figure up some more potential title shots, but I just don't see anyone else in the division right now that deserves a title shot other than, maybe the 3 guys I mentioned. Obviously, Colby Covington being the #1 contender right now. Dana White said that was the fight he was looking to make, and obviously Leon Edwards has some, some second thoughts about that one. He kind of has some resentment towards that idea. Then you have, Edwards versus, Bilal Muhammad. Like I said, it's the only fight that makes sense. Bilal Muhammad, he's been active. He deserves the title shot more than, really, I feel like anybody in that welterweight division. Maybe if Gilbert Burns can start rattling some wins off, maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe if Shavkat Rakhmonov can get in there against Kamaru Usman and beat him, I feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov would be a good candidate for that belt. I was about to put Edwards versus Rakhmonov on there, but, he hasn't really beat anybody in that top 5 yet. Maybe you put Shavkat Rakhmonov in there with Bilal Muhammad. Maybe you throw him in there with Gilbert Burns. Maybe you throw him in there with Colby Covington. You know what I'm saying? But, those are some of the matchups. And then, the last one we talked about was obviously, Leon Edwards versus Khamzat Chimaev, which I don't think that's going to happen because of 2 reasons. Because of one, Khamzat Chimaev can't make weight at 170, at least not reliably. I mean, if he wants that damn title shot bad enough, he'll do whatever he's got to do to get it. And making weight is a part of that title shot process, you know what I'm saying? And that's something he would have to do. And then for 2, I feel like he fights better at middleweight anyways. You know what I'm saying? He relies on his strength a lot, and when you can put on that weight, he's literally tossing guys around. He's picking up freaking grown men and talking to Dana White at the same time. So I feel like Khamzat Chimaev belongs in that middleweight division. So those were just some of the fights that we talked about. But y'all let me know what y'all think down there in the comment section below. Who do y'all think Leon Edwards should challenge for the title next? If it was me, this right here is the fight to make. So let's hear what the decision was.
After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 48-47, 50-45, and 48-47. The declaring the winner by unanimous decision, and new undisputed UFC
and Bilal Muhammad got the belt. So, let me know if y'all think that this would happen in real life. Y'all let me know what your matchups will be. Drop them down there in the comment section below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all did, y'all drop a like, y'all subscribe. Make sure your notifications are turned on so that way you don't miss a video when I upload. I'm working on getting some gameplay from Modern Warfare 2 to drop here on the channel soon. So be on the lookout for that. But in our next UFC video, I'm probably going to look to do fights in the middleweight division. You know, guys who could probably challenge Alex Pereira for that belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at maybe one, maybe two guys on this list that could probably challenge Alex Pereira for the belt. Maybe three if you count Adesanya. You know, we'll see what happens between him and Adesanya. But other than that, y'all stay motivated, stay dedicated, always have that Mamba mentality, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace out.